So I turned on my phone, and it was around 8:20 that I turned on my phone. And I saw that at 8:11, 2 messages had come in a row. The first one said, "I love you." And the second one said, "I'm sorry." And so I instantly, had this lump in my throat, knowing something bad was happening or was about to happen. And I tried to call him, and he didn't answer, and I texted, and I still haven't had any response. Maps and globes and atlases, and we had friends going to the hospitals in the South to look through bodies for us to see if they could identify him. We kept getting lists of people that other people thought were survivors at different kibbutzes in the area, and they always ended up being dead ends. The next morning, we, on social media, saw a photograph that had been taken from inside of a bomb shelter that was near the music festival. And we saw Hirsch, and we saw his friend. Sense of humor, but not a mean sense of humor. Sometimes with sarcasm. It's like last summer he went to 6 different countries for different music. They said nobody had screamed out. He didn't make noise. He didn't, he seemed, I'm sure he was in shock. He stood up with these other 2 young men, and they walked outside where they were seen getting onto a Hamas pickup truck, which headed toward the border. And what the police were able to tell us is that the phone signal last seen from Hirsch was inside of Gaza at 10:25 Saturday morning. And that was on October 7th. And that's the last that we know of him. These are games that we've never had to play before, these what if. There's only 2 options. So between he's dead or his arm is blown off and he's being held hostage, those are the 2 options. And they're both horrible, but I'd rather have him be alive, obviously. So that's what we're praying. But I don't know that he's alive. I don't know that he made it. Laid back person who's I really would love to talk to Hamas. Like, I want to understand, what is it? What is it that is wanted from this situation? Because it's such an unusual situation. I'm not a historian, but I don't know of situations where people steal 85-year-old grandmothers and 2-year-old children and hippies who are dancing barefoot at a music festival. I'm just not familiar with that.
They were taking in, and the door was broken, and I could hear my youngest, who was on the phone with me with his phone, saying, "Don't take me, I'm too young." And that was the last I've heard of him. Since Saturday, October 7th, I heard nothing. I know nothing of their whereabouts. I heard nothing of how they are, what they're doing, how they're held. Just no information whatsoever. I live in a community that believes in freedom, equality, and humanity. I always tell my children that the children of Gaza live a much worse life than they do. That we have running water, we have electricity, we have education. We're human. And I always sympathize with the other side, because I believe that even when I see ads of Israel saying that they killed 14-year-old terrorists, it breaks my heart, because it's someone's child. Obviously, the other side doesn't see it that way. And if I thought until a week or so ago that I had neighbors that I could make peace with, I'm sorry, but I don't believe it anymore. This is inhumane. I'm sorry. You can't keep children, babies, women, and elderly people hostage.
I mean, every second I think, it's like I think it might be without my parents. It's like, I don't think this is normal. To think that every time I talk to them, it kind of be the last time. It's like, how should I feel? I don't know anything about my parents for like 7 days. I just talked to them for a minute. My brother told me don't talk to them more than a minute because their phone battery gonna run out, and then we're not gonna know anything. I don't know. How should I think? How would you think? How would you feel? I mean, they don't have food. I mean, my parents were supposed to leave back to Germany in November, so I mean, in a couple more weeks. They're just visiting Gaza, and so they don't really have any stock of food. You know, I mean, it's really, really dire situation. Like they just say death everywhere. You can smell it. You can smell, you can smell people's under buildings. I mean, it's just really, you know, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, it's very catastrophic. I'm fearing for my parents' life, and I don't even know what to do. I mean, the thing is, when I'm talking to them, they only respond is like, Alhamdulillah, we are alive. You know, that's, you know, like my mom said, we don't care about food, we don't care about anything. We just like, you know, my mom is grateful that she actually have a bathroom, because she said most people who evacuated there on the roads, there's like no privacy, nothing. You know, there's thousands of people walking in the streets. People like, I mean, just, you know, like just being moved from one place to the next. I mean, thousands. I mean, it's like, you know, a flood of people just moving around. You know, it's like there's like, you know, I mean, yeah, I don't even know. I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, the way my mom described it is like, it's like if you're out with the people, it feels like Judgment Day, and everybody's just like, you know, like there's even no room to breathe because there's so many people in a lot of areas in the streets, and it's just devastating. It's just, you know, I mean, they just constantly feel like they're living in an earthquake. The house is just constantly shaking. I mean, this is my message to Biden. It's like, you know, we need to stop this. The world need to take a stand to stop this. Everybody in the world need to stop. I mean, we need to stop. Ceasefire. This war, every other war. People need to stop, and so they can listen to the voices inside of them. Maybe there is a voice of hope, but this need to stop. يعني انه ما بعرف، يعني بتمنى انه بس اهلي والناس يعني تكون في امان، يعني وانه عندنا الصعبه هاي، صعبه كلمه، يعني كلمه صعبه تكون موجوده في غزه. يعني كلمه الامان، يعني لا يوجد مكان هو فيه امان. يعني كيف ممكن اشعر؟ يعني تصور ابوك وامك قاعدين في موقع يعني لا لهم ذنب في اللي بيصير ولا شيء، وكل القصف نازل عليهم. يعني ما فكرتش، يعني ان شاء الله يطلعوا. ما بعرفش اذا في الامل. لا يعني الايمان بالرب وحده. يعني بصراحه ما بعرف، يعني اقول لك هل انا يعني بتمنى انه اهلي والناس كلها يعني ما تنضر.
It's a mixed emotion, guilt to live and guilt to live here, because it's a beautiful country to live here. And all the way through, Australia was taking care of us, and it was amazing.
So much guilt. You feel so much guilt and like leaving, that it's you got to look after your family and
friends,
right. And there's so much family over there that are in such a difficult situation, and yeah, it's so hard.
We went for a tabernacle, Feast of Tabernacle, where all the Christians nations come and praise over there. And then the bomb started. We stuck. We missed our flight, and here we are. And here we are.